Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at how to get the grades off of here. Now, this part is completely optional for you as a teacher. However, it is kind of cool. I don't really like to go into my grade book as often as I can avoid it, so I love using websites such as Testmos, Quizzes, Kahoot, and Google Forms to download my grades and import those into GradeSpeed. I know that that functionality is available in several other gradebook features as well if your school uses a different program. So for this, if your students go to the interactive website, um, they're going to see the place where they can import their grades. So let's just do a sample here. Let's say 1 to 10, 5, 4 is what I believe that the answers are in my student brain. And I'm going to put in my name, Nathan Blackberry. Okay, where as for my student ID, I'm going to put in my student ID. And that part there is responsible just for importing the grades into the gradebook. That's how my gradebook gets them imported. Again, that's optional if you're not tech savvy and you don't want to mess with that. You don't have to put that in there at all. I can put in my class period. So let's say I have Miss Ramos period 9. And this part here, your special teacher password, is only required if you want to actually see your students' grades in the link that I provide for you. So what I'm going to do is assign my students any link. They can put in your last name, they can put in your school name, or any other special code. It just kind of works like a hashtag. So I'm going to put in Teach Ramos for my students. And whenever any of my students put in, I'll tell them the special password is Teach Ramos. And they just have to put that in there. So then when little Nathan submits, you have two ways of getting his grade. He can actually hit view accuracy and see his own scores. So he can see here he got the first three right, but these last two, rows 4 and 5, are wrong. So he needs to go back and actually view those. He can completely redo it and submit another response if he wants to. That option is right here, submit another response. Or you can see the grade as he is. He can see here what he put in for name, student ID, class period, special passcode. And at this point, he could just raise his hand and show you, and you can see his grade, and you'll see, okay, you got a 60%, 3 out of 5. You can write that down in your grade book if you prefer not to go the tech route. Now, if you'd like to go the tech route or just keep an eye on your students, in the Secrets to Success packet here, there is a link for teachers where you can view just their grades. And it's down here on version 2 where it says there's the interactive website. So right here in the teacher directions, you see the link to tinyurl.com/STS Secrets to Success TPT grade. You can either click this or type it into your browser. And when you go there, it's going to open up a link to the Google Forms responses. Now, you will be able to see any teacher has their students on here. That goes to this website, you'll be able to see their responses. But you can filter out just your students. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So the place to filter is to click this little arrow right here next to where it says special password. And you'll be able to view all of the teachers in here. You'll see the special passwords, but you just want to view your own. So you want to unselect anything that is not you. Or a quick way to do this would just be able to type in there. If it's kind of a long list and you don't see yours, you can start typing in and you'll see yours pop up. Then you can go ahead and select OK. And then what you'll see is only your students. So you can see the first student data, they didn't put in their name or their student ID or their class period. They just were checking their answers. So I don't get any of that feedback back. However, for my other students who I did have put in their name and student ID, I can see that. I can see what their answers were for each row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And I can also see their grade right here. So it's already automatically calculated the grade. If I wanted to just write these down at this point, I can. I can sort them according to period by again clicking the arrow. I can hit sort A to Z, or maybe I just want to see one of my class periods. It's a great way to keep an eye on your students. It actually updates within seconds, almost exactly real time. You can have this projected on your desktop computer, and you can view which students have gone and put this in, or on your iPad you're carrying around the classroom so you can see them as they pop up and what they got. And you might be calling out to, for example, Joshua Ramos here didn't get such a great grade. So you might want to say, Joshua, go back to block one. I want you to try to redo that. And I do have my students keep an eye on them. What I tell them, if you get below a 70, you should redo it, or if you want a higher score. I like them to go back to their work as much as possible. So that way they're constantly self-correcting and learning from their mistakes. So you can sort by period, or you can also sort by student name if you would like to. You can sort A to Z by that, or you can just select the students you want to see. So once again, sorting A to Z, I see just their name. Okay, now I prefer, like I told you, to import my grade. So what you need to do for this, um, you have two options. You can go to File, and you can make a copy. So you have your copy in your own Google Drive if you are signed up with a Google account. And you want to do that after all of the students will finish because it won't update anymore. On your copy, it won't update. It will only update on the link provided since that's the one attached to the website. Or you can download it. You can also email it as an attachment to yourself. So let's say I'm going to download this. The one that most gradebooks use is the comma separated values, the CSV, or you can download a more inclusive one in the Microsoft Excel version. And I'm going to show you how simple this is. It is so quick for me to get my grades off of here. Okay, so I've downloaded the file at this point and I'm opening it. Now, the first thing you need to do is to just enable editing because it's downloaded off the internet. Your computer is not going to like that very much. And then the next thing you need to do is just delete the columns that are unnecessary. So for my gradebook app, I know that the way that they like the grades is by student ID first and then score second. So all of these columns here I don't really need anymore. And what I need to do in that case is to get rid of everything that is not TeachRamos. So I'm going to select all these other teachers' kiddos, and I'm going to delete those rows. And then I'm going to go back in, and this time it should just be the TeachRamos kids that I see. So now I can, at this point, delete that column since those are the only kids remaining is my own. Now that part actually is not even required because, for instance, if I were to import these student ID numbers here, which are fictitious, into my gradebook would automatically sort out which ones were correct and which ones were incorrect. It will just ignore the false ones. So you really don't have to delete the other kids if you don't want to, unless you wanted to keep a record for yourself. I'm going to also delete out this timestamp column. You can delete out the name column, delete out all the answers in the class periods. You won't need any of that. And then what you're left with here is your student ID and your score. Now you can see that when they export it, the score shows as 80 out of 100, even though it's just as 80. So all I need to do to fix this error is to select that column, and you can see that it's in general or in number, it will take that out. Now, I typically put mine in number and then I just decrease the decimal right here and decrease it twice. So it just says 80 with no decimal points. And then for my GradeSpeed app, it likes to have the score after the ID. So to do that, I'm going to select column A, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to hit cut. Then I will go to column C and I'm going to insert my cut cells. So now I have column A and B. Now you'll need to do this for each of the locks, lock 1, lock 2, locks 3 through 4, and lock 5. You'll have your separate sheets there for each one. But at this point, you can go ahead and just download, file, save as. Like I said, you're going to want to save it as a CSV. Do not do the first CSV, do the second one down here, comma, delimit it. And secrets to success responses, I'm going to save this as lock 1 and go ahead and hit save. It's going to tell you that the selected file type doesn't work with multiple books, and it's going to tell you that it's only going to save the active sheet, which is why I entitled it Lock 1. To save all the same sheets, you have to click them individually using Lock 2, Lock 3 through 4, and Lock 5. So I'm going to hit OK on that. That's fine. That's what I wanted. Okay, and now if I go to open that file, you can see it has it here. And I'll just show you quickly what that looks like. Okay, so it's giving me a little error message here to again remind me that it's going to delete all these other sheets, and that's totally fine. All I need to do is go ahead and X out of that and then go back into my downloads folder where I'll see my Lock 1 responses. And then this is the file that I would import into my gradebook. And you can see there they are. It only shows just Lock 1. It doesn't have the other ones. And again, it's reminding me that CSV is going to delete some features, which is fine because that's the way my gradebook likes it. When I import this, I can import my entire 150 students into any of my class periods, and my GradeSpeed application will automatically just filter out the ones that I need. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this for all of your other grades. So what you would do is go back into File and Open. It should be in your recent ones. And you want to click on the original, not the Lock 1 version I saved. And you'll see there it has all the ones again. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to delete Lock 1. I've already saved that one. I'm going to select my kids, and then I'll need to delete these extra columns for Lock 2. And again, File, Save As, CSV, and it will remind me that I can only save it for the current active sheet. Fine, that's what I want to do. It says possible data loss, that's fine. I'm going to X out of here, close out of this document, and when you reopen it, you'll get your Lock 2 answers, and then I can import those into my gradebook. Now, you don't have to import them in your gradebook. You can just click on the individual tabs in the Google Sheet to view all of the kids that have completed the activity. That's completely fine. That's there for you. It's up to you how you as a teacher want to use this activity. I just really appreciate the feature in my own classroom to save me some time. So once again, thank you for purchasing this activity, and I hope your students enjoy finding text evidence, though it is challenging, with kind of a fun escape room twist. Take care.